In your other morning headlines, the FBI investigating local Congressman Henry Cuellar. FBI agents could be seen going in and out of his home late yesterday in Laredo. Public records list Congressman Cuellar and his wife as the owners of the home. The FBI did not say what they're looking for. They also didn't say what the investigation is about. Cuellar's office released a statement saying he will fully cooperate in any investigation. This all comes ahead of the March primaries.
Voting legislation that Democrats and civil rights groups argue is vital for protecting democracy has collapsed. The outcome yesterday in the Senate was a setback for President Joe Biden and his party. Democrats were unable to change Senate rules to push past a Republican filibuster. Biden has failed to persuade two holdout Democrat senators, Kyrsten Sinema of Arizona and Joe Manchin of West Virginia, to change Senate rules for this one bill. Advocates warn that new state laws are making it more difficult to vote in elections. Biden says he is disappointed, but not deterred.
Our San Antonio Spurs got a much-needed win last night at home against the Oklahoma City Thunder. DeJounte Murray had 23 points, 14 assists, and 10 rebounds. And the Spurs hold made 15 three-pointers that helped the team roll past the Thunder, 118-96. It was Murray's 8th triple-double of the season and the 12th of his career. Murray's dozen triple-doubles are our second in franchise history, trailing Hall of Famer David Robinson's 14. Doug McDermott scored 20 points. Devin Vassell had 19. Jakob Poeltl added 13 points and matched a season high with 4 block shots. Each team entering having only won twice in its previous 10 games. Up next, the Spurs host the Brooklyn Nets tomorrow night.
Good to get a win in.
Hey, yes, ma'am.
Time now 4:43 and 37 degrees for now.
Let's check the roads one more time with TransGuide. And this is probably one of the most remote cameras we have in the TransGuide system, way out in Kerrville, where it's dark and gray. But right now we are still seeing some cars and trucks. And this could be one of the first indicators visually of problems later on this morning. Stephen and the team are keeping an eye on the roads for you all day. 446, the good news, almost all the kids are home today, so that'll keep the buses off the roads. But some folks do have to try to venture out.
That's right. So let's go ahead and check in with Stephen Cavazos.
Yeah, we are hoping that maybe all those school closures will make it an easier commute for anybody that does have to head out the door maybe a little bit later today. But right now, we're still in decent shape. We're not seeing a whole lot of activity out there. We do have this remote camera, as Mark was mentioning, out toward I-10 at Kerrville East, that is. We're seeing vehicles that are traveling through there. Now, the reason why we have this shot up is, as Mark mentioned, it's usually a spot where we start to see some of that ice that gets out on the roadway, but we're not spotting anything just yet, but it's still very dark out there, so you want to make sure that you're driving carefully out on the roadways regardless. Let's go ahead and take you to the map because we already have a first issue to report here, a rollover that's been detected off I-10 eastbound at W.W. White. We're not spotting any slowdowns. Of course, that's given because it's very early in the morning, but something that we're going to continue to watch, and we'll see how that impacts that morning drive time. Taking a jump right over here, we still have that debris detected, so watch out for that. That's located off 1604 westbound at Marbach Road. It's been there for quite a while, according to the TxDOT website, so not sure if that's going to be cleared out, but hopefully that won't impact your drive time. Let's push out over here, though, because we still have that crash that is meant to clear out from our system, but seeing a small buildup there off I-10 westbound at Frias Street. Now, as we push out of the map, we can see that we are still pretty much green on the screen, not seeing a whole lot of color out there, so some good news. But as we take one last look here at I-10 at Kerrville East, it's looking calm up there, but Sarah Spivey, meteorologist Sarah Spivey, is heading out toward I-10 Fair Oaks. What are you spotting so far, Sarah?
Well, hey, Stephen. Yeah, the road conditions are great right now. There's absolutely no ice on the road. We haven't seen any kind of ice fall yet, and we honestly don't expect ice until probably after 6 o'clock in the morning, maybe even after the mid-morning hours. So we're really not concerned about that until later this morning. And even then, it should be a light icing. I'm in the Storm Chaser right now with photojournalist Stephen Chavez, and he's been driving and he's been fighting the winds. The winds are by far the biggest story out there right now. Wind chills are in the teens and 20s, and we're going to post up in Leon Springs waiting for this band of precipitation to come here. I want to show you something really cool. This is my storm chasing tool today. It's going to measure pavement temperature, which is going to be massively important today when it comes to any kind of ice sticking to the roads. So for now, let's go ahead and toss it back to meteorologist Mike Osterhage. Mike, give us the 411 on what we can expect today.
Well, pretty much what you were talking about. And of course, if you are out driving, you two and everybody else, do take it easy. And it is the wind that you're going to be battling. So, 18-wheelers, high-profile vehicles, watch that. This camera has kind of been quivering a little bit. And here is the what's being picked up on radar right now. Again, a little bit of very light precipitation. Obviously, it is somewhat freezing out there in portions of the hill country, and it changes over right there in Uvalde County. We've got a couple of things working for us right now. The air is very, very dry, so a lot of this evaporates before it reaches the ground. But then as it evaporates, that is a cooling process, so that cools temperatures down, and then eventually it will start to reach the ground. Also, and as Sarah was just talking about, road surface temperatures. Right now, everything is well up into the mid-upper 30s and 40s because obviously it's been so warm the past couple of days. So that's not going to be a huge issue as far as surface temperatures. Again, operative word being surface. It's the elevated ones that we're going to have to watch out for as we go on through the day with this colder air that is moving on in here. Here's when we talk about dew points, the measure of moisture in the atmosphere and how dry the air is. Remember how it kept going up and up and up the past couple of days, and now these numbers are 20, 30, 40 degrees lower than what they were at this time yesterday, which indicates just how dry the air is. And as far as future temperatures, all it's going to do is continue to drop down throughout the day. So we'll stay below freezing in portions of the hill country, which means the elevated surfaces are going to be in that freezing air. Obviously, it doesn't take much at all. I mean, a spritz bottle on a freezing surface, and it's going to make that little bit of glaze up there. So that's why you have to watch it, especially in the hill country throughout the day. We're going to be hovering just kind of right around freezing all day long here in town. So, yeah, a little bit of mixed precipitation. I doubt if there's going to be a huge issue with icing, but obviously you just got to kind of take it easy. And then as we go on into the humidity, the winds, the drier air is really going to continue to move on in here. And we're going to see these dew point temperatures, some of the lowest we've ever seen around here. So you're really going to feel it on your skin. And as far as the wind forecast, we're going to stay very blustery, very gusty all day long. Also, we're going to have wind chills that are going to be very, very cold all day long, well down into the 20s. And like Sarah was alluding to, wind is, I think, really going to be the biggest story, and the wind chills are going to be some of the biggest factors that we have to deal with. So here's what's going on this morning. Computer models keep most everything well up there to the north throughout most of the morning hours. It'll start to spread just a little bit. This one keeps a lot of liquid precipitation basically south of San Antonio, frozen stuff up there to the north, and it looks like it will begin to clear out somewhat later on this afternoon. But down to the south, that's where things are going to be kind of on the dicey side as far as any sort of wintry mix, and that's where the winter storm warning is posted. 23 below actual air temperature. This is the gee-whiz for this morning. 37 below is the wind chill up there at International Falls as of right now. So throughout the day, temperatures just continue to slide downward. About 33 at noon. Some wintry mix, primarily up to the north, and then 32 this afternoon. And again, we have the winter weather advisory, purple area, winter storm warning till noon tomorrow for our southern counties. Maybe hit fairly hard down there to the south tomorrow morning as far as some snow, maybe some freezing precipitation. 27 tonight. 28 Saturday morning, and just above freezing Sunday morning. A couple of more showers Sunday into Monday, but cold, cold, cold all day long.
It's interesting to me that we're kind of looking area-wide and focusing north this morning, but tomorrow the main headline could be well to the south of San Antonio. Yeah, and I mean, just looking at some of the computer models, that batch of moisture that's staying well down there to the south, it reminds me of Christmas, what, about 10, 15 years ago, something like that? Right, when it got that snow down there to the south. So all the way down to the coast. Unusual, but it can happen. Looks like it may happen tomorrow.
We'll be watching closely.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. 4:53, about 36 degrees.
And coming up next, some encouraging news from several top health officials who predict the U.S. will move past the Omicron peak by the middle of February.
This morning, more school districts are being forced to take action to address a shortage of teachers.
The concerns in the classroom come as we learn that vaccinating children under the age of 5 could take longer than we thought. ABC's Ika Jachi has the details.
This morning, states now taking new action.
We have to literally have an all-hands-on-deck approach.
As COVID-related staffing shortages threaten to close more classrooms. In New Mexico, the governor now calling on the National Guard to teach kids because of a shortage of nearly 1,000 substitute teachers.
These are folks who are quickly adaptable because of their specific training to meet the needs in any community issue, irrespective of what it is.
In Oklahoma, off-duty police officers are now stepping in to teach after an executive order from the governor cleared the way for state employees to staff classrooms. But some good news for parents in the race to vaccinate more children. The FDA is expected to review vaccines for kids under age 5 as early as next month. Preliminary data shows kids 2 to 4 years old will likely need 3 doses for full protection.
It is likely that it will be a 3-dose vaccine. And that being the case, it's going to take a little longer to get those data to the FDA and approved.
Meanwhile, this morning, new guidelines from the National Institutes of Health recommend hospitals avoid using monoclonal antibody treatments from Regeneron and Eli Lilly due to their ineffectiveness in fighting the Omicron variant. The updated guidelines come just 1 week after the government spent billions of dollars stockpiling both treatments.
We still have options, but we need to work to develop more therapies for those people who will get infected with the virus.
Ike Ajachi, ABC News, Washington.
And time now is 4:58 and 36 degrees for right now.
Well, we're talking about the things that you're talking about in between stories and commercial breaks, and that's traffic and weather right now. Things are still tranquil out there at 10 in Kerrville, way outside of San Antonio, northwest of town. We're going to keep eye on the situation all morning long. We are here for you on GMSA.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
We are starting to see some precipitation, liquid and the freezing type up in portions of the hill country. How much more throughout the day, and what are temperatures going to be doing?
The roads are calm right now, but will that change? We're keeping a close eye and we'll give you all the updates coming up in the next few moments.
And outside with live cam, the main thing right now is the bitter cold and factoring in the wind. Brr, I'm so glad that most folks are home today, especially the kiddos. That was a beautiful shot of downtown San Antonio.
Yeah, it's looking nice and it is cold.
Well, good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, January 20th, and it is looking right now we are going to have some type of wintry weather today.
Oh, yes. The wind definitely this morning, my welcome mat was like across the yard already, a sign of things to come.
And Mike is already tracking some activity on radar. Get us up to speed, Mike.
Yeah, we do have some that's showing up in portions of the hill country as of right now. That picture, as you can see, the road is dry. There's nothing in and around town showing up on radar at the moment, and we are going to continue to see it spread just a little bit. Take a look at radar, and yeah, that's kind of the dividing line right there in Uvalde County. A little bit is still coming down in the form of some slight rain, but now it's starting to change over ever so slightly in northern Uvalde County and then going up into portions of the hill country, and everything is sort of sliding to the east, almost to the northeast just a little bit, and this will continue to work in that direction. Obviously, the majority of this, and as expected, is going to be up to the north, but it'll start to spread just a bit more as the day rolls on. The big story, wind gusts. Temperatures right now are in the mid 30s, but these gusts about 20, 30, 35 miles per hour, even higher than that, and that's putting wind chills down to 27 right now, 20 Bernie Stage, 21 in Kerrville, and then temperatures also, as the cold air continues to move on in here, temperatures really aren't going to be going anywhere. So this morning we have a little bit of light mix up to the north. Obviously, most all schools in and around our area are closed today, but if you do have to venture out, obviously take it easy. High profile vehicles are going to be, I think, some of the biggest problems out there, but just kind of watch it if there is any little bit of precipitation, especially on the elevated surfaces. A bit more of the mix will sort of spread around the area. The dividing line is pretty much going to be along 10 and 90 south of there for today. Should say more in the liquid form, more mix further up to the north, and could include actually a little bit of freezing rain, which would be freezing on contact. That's going to be the big threat on some of the elevated surfaces, and boy, windy conditions as well. Cold temperatures and windy, those wind chills all day long. Tomorrow, we will have some wintry mix and winter precipitation in our extreme southern counties, and then we'll start to see a little bit of sunshine in the afternoon, cold temperatures, and by the weekend, yeah, it's going to be cold. Then we have another chance for a few showers around here on Sunday. And don't forget, the winter weather advisory is in effect up until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning for pretty much all of the area, and there's the winter storm warning for extreme southern counties. That's in effect up until noon tomorrow. We'll get this all sorted out and take a closer look at the weekend in just a couple of moments. Well, you saw a little bit of mixed precipitation out there in the hill country and heading out northwest. Meteorologist Sarah Spivey, what do you see out there now? What's the latest?
Hey, we're going to head over to traffic right now, Mike. Thankfully, we are keeping a close eye on the roadways while Sarah Spivey makes her way up toward I-10. But so far, things have been looking pretty calm and collected there on the roadways. Let's take a closer look. 410 at Broadway. You can see very quiet start to this Thursday morning as we're inching closer. We know more people will be getting out there and getting their day started. But if you have to stay home, that's some good news. But if you have to head out the door, you're not really going to encounter any big issues right now. But as Mike was saying, for those high-profile vehicles, you're going to want to watch out for those, especially with those wind gusts. So make sure you have both hands on your wheel, and of course keep your distance this morning. But right now, again, the roads are in good shape. Let's go ahead and take you right to the map, though, because unfortunately we do have one incident to report, which is a rollover here off I-10 eastbound right at W.W. White. Talking to our friends over at TransGuide, it does look like this is on the Axis Road, so it's not going to really cause any issues there along I-10 on the highway. But make sure that you're driving carefully this morning, especially if you drive through I-10 a little bit later. Let's push out of the map and show you how we are looking. Thankfully, still off to a pretty decent start as we see this big wider scope of the map. Now, we are seeing our road weather map is also picking up some ice, so getting in closer toward hill country, but we're going to continue to keep a close eye on that throughout the morning. But right now, we're looking good in town. Decent shape, especially if you have to head out the door in the next few moments. And if your travels take you through San Antonio, still green across the board. No delays just yet. But of course, we're going to continue to keep a close eye on these roadways and give you all those updates throughout the morning. Mark, Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephen. Schools around San Antonio area and our wider viewing area canceling classes as a wintry mix approaches and area temperatures stay pretty low. They're taking action for the safety of staff and students. Some districts also anticipating staffing shortages.
Our Tiffany Huertas joins us now with more on these closures. Good morning, Tiffany.
Good morning, Mark and Stephanie. A lot of parents waking up this morning trying to see if their child's school is closed. We have put together a list of the schools and districts that have confirmed closures. Let's take a look at some of the largest school districts in our area. San Antonio ISD closed all schools and offices. Northside ISD also canceled classes and all extracurricular activities. The district says classes and scheduled activities will resume on Friday. Northeast ISD says there is no school today. All after-school meetings, events, and extracurricular activities also canceled. Other school districts closed include Alamo Heights ISD, Edgewood ISD, Harlandale ISD, Somerset ISD, South San ISD, Southside ISD, and Southwest ISD. Schertz-Cibolo Universal City ISD has also canceled school, and all IDEA public schools in San Antonio are also closed today. For a complete list of the local schools that are canceled, visit KSAT.com. Mark, Stephanie.
All right. Thank you very much, Tiffany. Of course, that is our entire crawl at the bottom of your screen this morning. That is all schools, and we'll keep that updated right here on GMSA. Well, in anticipation of dangerous or potentially dangerous road conditions, Texas Department of Public Safety alerted drivers to take extra safety precautions.
Our Jonathan Cotto joins us live and is helping to keep an eye on those road conditions. Good morning, Jonathan.
Good morning, Stephanie. Good morning, Mark. Right now, we're located off of 281 near Loop 1604, and conditions as of now are normal. But as we know, any type of precipitation mixed with freezing temperatures can pose some serious threats for drivers. Right now, we're keeping an eye out on major routes such as highways and, of course, those bridges, as we see here behind me, that we know tend to freeze first. Now, DPS is advising for a vehicle inspection, making sure you check your battery, windshield wipers, tire pressure, tire treads, and fluid levels, and also ensuring door and trunk locks are lubricated to prevent them from freezing. Also important to note, CPS Energy and SAW says they have looked over their equipment to make sure they are ready for the cold front. CPS says they have strengthened the resiliency of its power plants against sustained freezing temperatures and will continue winterization efforts. They say the energy supply is not expected to exceed demand and result in outages. And as the temperature drops, don't forget about your furry friends. Animal Care Services is recommending that you bring your pets inside, and if you can't do so, provide them with proper shelter. And of course, anyone in need of any assistance or shelter, there are plenty of resources. Just head on over to KSAT.com. We're going to continue to monitor road conditions and update you with the latest. Reporting live, Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
All right, thank you, Jonathan.
509, about 37 degrees.
Let's take a look outside with Live Cam. Very nice shot there of downtown, but you can see our cameras moving. There is wind out there. We'll be checking in with Mike later on.
And if you're wondering, is there anything really happening right now? The answer is yes. And you see that green where it kind of changes over to that pinkish white. That is our problem area. And Mike's going to tell us if more of that's going to arrive in a steady stream later this morning. An update with him and Steven coming up.
In today's Tech Bites, Snapchat has launched a new safeguard limiting the number of friend suggestions offered to teenagers using the platform. And now teenagers will only receive a suggestion if they have a certain number of friends in common with that person. The feature is designed to block drug dealers from connecting with minors. And next, Instagram is testing out its new subscriptions feature. It allows creators to offer their followers paid access to exclusive live videos and stories. The 10 creators involved must decide how much to charge for their exclusive content. It's unclear how long the test will run. Apple says it's closing a loophole that has allowed almost anyone to use its education discount. From now on, buyers in stores and online will have to verify that they are actually students, teachers, or school staffers in order to get 10% off on their Apple purchases. And those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
And time now, 5:13 and a chilly 37 degrees out there.
So far, so good right now here in town. And there's a camera shot way out on I-10 in the Kerrville area where we are anticipating some of the first effects of what could be some wintry weather later this morning. But again, so far, so good. We watch and wait together.
What would you like?
I think
Everything is included.
Gonna be falling in. Still feels like
Did you and your husband enjoy your stay?
Yes.
Visit secretsresorts.com/Love Unlimited for a special Love Unlimited package and savings up to 40%.
I tried a laxative that's both gentle and fast.
Great tasting Dalgalac soft chews works naturally with the water in your body in as little as 30 minutes. Puts you comfortably in control. Dalgalac soft chews.
These are the faces of Listerine. The face of millions of germs zapped in seconds. The face of clean. The face of whoa. Some are of intensity. Others, joy. All are of Listerine. Feel the whoa.
Good morning, everyone. Time now is 5:17. We've been keeping a very close eye here at I-10 at Kerrville East. This is a view from TransGuide. It's pretty much the same view that we've been seeing all morning long. Only difference is it does look like a vehicle is experiencing some trouble out there. But right now, those conditions are still very dark, as you can see from this shot. Not easy to make out what's going on the roadways. But we're going to continue to watch this shot particularly close because that's where we can probably see some of that ice a little bit later this morning. But again, something we're going to continue to keep a close eye on for our friends up in the hill country. Let's take a look at the map right now, because if you take a look up here toward the corner of your screen, you see a color palette that shows exactly what we're seeing on our road weather map. Now, that purplish color does show that there's some ice out toward I-10. So we're going to, again, this is where we're going to keep a very close eye, especially for our friends that have to travel through that route a little bit later this morning. Right now, though, be on the lookout, because this has still been a problem here off I-10 eastbound, that is, at WW Wide, where a rollover was detected earlier this morning. Again, our friends at TransGuide telling us that this is on the access road, but either way, you're going to want to make sure that you're driving carefully this morning. The conditions haven't been too bad in terms of what we've been seeing on the roadways. There's not been a lot of crashes or stalls, but keep in mind, still very early in the morning, and that can quickly change as we see a very calm start here off I-10 at Kerrville East. Let's check in with meteorologist Sarah Spivey, who's making her way up toward I-10. How's it looking out there, Sarah?
Well, thanks, Stephen. Yeah, I'm here. I'm in Leon Springs right now. We moved up along I-10, and the reason we chose Leon Springs is because it's a little higher elevation. Oftentimes we see the changeover to a wintry mix first in our northern section of Bexar County, so that's why we're here. We do not expect any kind of wintry precip until after about 8 a.m. in San Antonio. So we've still got a little bit of time to go. And even when we do get the wintry precipitation, the main spots we're worried about are bridges and overpasses, like the bridge right here along I-10, right over Bernie Stage Road. These areas are the ones that ice quicker than the roads that are closer to the ground and on the ground, the regular streets. So we'll be watching that bridge very carefully. I can tell you, though, the wind chill out here this morning is ridiculous. I'm glad for my layers. I actually measured the wind chill, and it's currently 20 degrees. That's what it feels like here in Leon Springs, right on Bernie Stage Road. So yeah, as Mike has been saying, we are going to be monitoring for the wintry precip. That's why we have the winter weather advisory in place. But by far, the cold and the wind, I think, are the biggest story right now, huh, Mike?
Oh, yes, indeed. It's that little spot right here that's killing me with her. She needs to take the scarf and pull it up.
Did you notice her northward-facing ear was redder than the other one?
Oh, yeah.
It's cold. Yes.
Get back in the car, Spivey.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, that really is the big story, is the wind chill temperatures, the cold air. And just to kind of confirm what Sarah was talking about, this is what's being picked up on radar right now. Yes, it is some freezing precipitation. A lot of this, there is nothing at the ground reporting areas, and that's in these individual sites out here, that is reporting any sort of precipitation. So a lot of it is actually evaporating before it reaches the ground right now, because the dry air really came in here. The front moved in, cold air, dry air, windy conditions, then the moisture is kind of coming on in here. So that's working on our behalf as of right now. We do have temperatures. These are surface temperatures that are at freezing. Bernie Stage, just about, down the road from Sarah's vicinity. Kerrville, Lost Maples, obviously it's going to be freezing in and around. This is just a couple of thermometers, obviously, so down the road could be freezing out there, out in northwest portions of the hill country. This is a very dry air. Notice how we have temperatures that are mid-30s, and then these numbers are a good 15, close to 20 degrees lower. That's the difference in the moisture in the atmosphere, the dew point temperature, and the air temperature. So that's that dry layer. That's why things are evaporating. But as it evaporates, that then cools down the air, and then you start to see if it's liquid precipitation, it'll change over a little bit more. Wind chill temperatures in the teens and 20s right now. Like Sarah said, it feels like 20 degrees where she is. Yesterday, it never ceases to amaze me. T-shirts yesterday, 70s and 80s, and then today temperatures are only going to continue to drop down. And that's going to be important as well, because we're going to be obviously below freezing all day long in the hill country, flirting with it. Right there, kind of the dividing line is 90 and 10. Will at times drop below even 30 degrees, it looks like, by tomorrow morning, and staying right at that threshold of freezing. So yes, those elevated surfaces like Sarah was talking about, those are the ones that are kind of bathed in that colder air. Ground temperatures are in the 40s, and it's not going to cool down all that much, because this is actually kind of a short-lived phenomenon. It's going to be, or weather event, 24 hours or so, and then we'll start to get back into relatively warmer temperatures. So, but we will keep those temperatures definitely on the cold side, and wind chill forecast well down into the 20s all day long. As far as the computer model, now this one's a little more aggressive with some of the moisture, and it does keep it kind of spreading around the area throughout the rest of today, and then a lot of it moves on down to the south. So winter weather advisory is in effect for all of the area up until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Again, temperatures are going to be kind of sort of right around freezing, degree either side of it here in town, and definitely below freezing in portions of the hill country. A little bit of wintry mix out there. 32 this afternoon, so right again at freezing. There's the winter weather advisory till 6 in the morning. Winter storm warning, southern counties. Going to be getting a lot more precipitation in the overnight hours and tomorrow morning with those colder temperatures down there in the extreme southern counties. And again, temperatures will stay at or a little bit below freezing all day long, dipping into the 20s tomorrow. We make it up to 48 degrees. We'll see some sunshine in the afternoon tomorrow, but still a very cold weekend. But obviously it's today. It's just that little bit of precipitation, which will continue. There's not much on the radar right now, but we'll continue to see a bit more throughout the mid to latter morning hours and even in the afternoon.
I'm glad so many precautions have been taken, just in case.
And that's the thing. I know people are still a little bit, kind of on edge, even from last year.
Yes.
Not anywhere near what that was. But yeah, I guess an ounce of prevention in this case.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good to be prepared.
All right. Hey, don't forget to bring in those pets, provide them some dry shelter and fresh water throughout this. 524, about 37 degrees.
And coming up next in your morning spotlight, a dramatic Lord of the Rings title announcement plus big honors for Spike Lee and Jon Stewart.
Just about 527, loads of entertainment news today, from a sneak peek starring 2 Oscar winners to a pair of major honors to a dramatic title reveal.
CNN's David Daniel has it all in the Hollywood Minute.
3 rings for the Elven Kings under the sky.
Prime Video has revealed the title of its upcoming series about the second age of Middle-earth, The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. The series debuts September 2nd. Spike Lee is getting the Directors Guild of America's highest honor, the Lifetime Achievement Award. It's not an annual prize. The DGA has given it only 35 times in its 86-year history. Lee will be honored at the DGA Awards on March 12th.
You needed the audience to be grounded in that possibility.
Jon Stewart is this year's recipient of the Kennedy Center's Mark Twain Prize for American Humor. The comedian, TV host, and activist will be recognized at an April 24th gala in Washington, D.C.
This isn't a place for people to punch in and out.
WeWork's role is to elevate the world's consciousness.
Here's your first look at Anne Hathaway and Jared Leto in We Crashed, about the rise and fall of WeWork. The limited series debuts on Apple TV Plus March 18th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
528, about 37 degrees, and of course that's without the wind chill.
That's right. And taking a look at the roads with TransGuide, things moving there at I-35 and Loop 410 at Cuellar Road for now, but we will be checking back with Stephen Cavazos very soon.
No precipitation, liquid or wintry mix is showing up in this picture right now. It is darn cold out there. We're going to check out radar coming up because there is a little bit out there in the hill country.
And Thursday off to a tranquil start on the roadways. We're going to continue to keep a close eye and let you know what you need to know before your morning drive.
And taking a look outside with live cam, like Mike said, it's cold out there. The front has arrived and it's windy too.
Good morning, everybody. It's Thursday, January 20th.
Thanks for joining us today. A lot of school closures to talk about this morning.
That's right. You can see that full list on KSAT.com. We're also updating on the crawl at the very, very bottom of your screen. Are we going to go through closures right now? Okay. All right. We are going to move on. We, as I said, running them all at the bottom of the screen, and we'll be updating you throughout this newscast. I promise.
Yeah, let's go ahead and check back with Mike. I know a lot of people are wondering what's going to happen today.
Yeah, well, as you can see behind you, and we'll show you that in a second, we have some precipitation, some wintry precipitation that is showing up on radar right now in portions of the hill country. Notice how it was a little bit kind of that dividing line right there, right around Concan, and now it seems to have changed over, but then a couple more little spots of liquid precipitation are showing up. That's the aerial coverage really hasn't grown that much just in about the past hour or so. And the air is also very, very dry. We've got this very dry layer down here at the surface. So a lot of this is more than likely evaporating before it reaches the ground, but then that tends to help cool things off. We do have surface temperatures that are at freezing or close enough to it, obviously, away from this thermometer there in Bandera. Comfort, it may be below freezing right now. And then temperatures will continue to kind of cool down a few more degrees throughout the rest of today. Windy conditions, that's really the big story this morning, is winds that are 20, 10, 15, 20, 25 miles per hour, and we have wind gusts 35 out there at the airport. Same thing, Lost Maples, 30 at Stinson, and you factor that all together, and we have wind chills right now, 19 Kerrville, 27 here in town, and it's going to stay like this throughout the rest of today. We will start to see the precipitation in the form of maybe a little bit of sleet or even some light rain, perhaps freezing on contact. And that's going to start to spread out a little bit more around the area throughout the day. It's not going to be extremely heavy. Now, as far as freezing rain is concerned, it doesn't take anything, obviously, on those elevated surfaces, the overpasses, the interchanges, because they're bathed up in the cold air. So it can freeze on contact. but it's not going to be a lot of it. But we'll see a little bit of that light wintry mix throughout the day. And these temperatures are just going to be dropping down and sort of hovering right around freezing here in town, definitely below freezing in parts of the hill country, and very, very windy conditions. Winter weather advisory, the purple area, in effect up until 6 o'clock tomorrow. And then this pink is a winter storm warning for our southern counties. That's in effect up until noon tomorrow, because kind of contrary to what you would think, but we're going to start to clear on out. But then there's a big batch of moisture and cold temperatures. It's going to be moving down to the south overnight and early tomorrow. All right, we always head out to the northwest to see what's going on as far as kind of the first place where you might see something. Meteorologist Sarah Spivey's out there right now. Are you seeing anything besides cold temperatures?
Nope, just the cold and the wind, Mike. But hey, I heard you guys talking about my ears getting cold, so I went ahead and put on the beanie just to be safe, and it was a good move because as you can hear, that wind is howling. We're currently dealing with wind chills in the 20s right now. Now, you were mentioning earlier that our biggest concern is going to be bridges and overpasses, and you're right. I've got a surface thermometer here, an infrared thermometer, and we're going to measure the parking lot temperature. You can see that it's well above freezing. It's about 36.5 degrees there. So parking lots, side roads that are on the ground temperature is too warm for us to see major issues on icing. One thing, though, to keep in mind is bridges and overpasses. That's what we're going to be looking for. Again, only expecting a light wintry precipitation today, not like February 2021. But I just measured the road temperature, but let's go to the expert, Stephen Cavazos. He's got traffic. What's going on there on the roads right now, Stephen?
Well, I love the science behind it all, Sarah. Thank you so much for that. Taking a look at our roads and our bridges right now, things have been calm, looking pretty normal, though. As we take a look, 281 at Nakoma, we are seeing that traffic is moving through that area. Also at 1604 at Wiseman. Now, yesterday, as we told you a little bit earlier in this newscast, we saw TxDOT crews that were actually spraying a saltwater solution known as brine out on the roadways. This is usually done along bridges and overpasses and places that are prone to freezing, so this will hopefully prevent any of that. But right now the commute is looking pretty calm. Now, you just saw a few flashing lights off that shot at TransGuide. Let's take a look right now and see what's happening on our map. A crash has been detected here off Macaulay Boulevard at I-35 southbound. This is not on the highway, but be on the lookout for that. It's still pretty much a calm morning, but problems are starting to pop up here. We still have this rollover off I-10 eastbound at W.W. White, according to the San Antonio Fire page. That's not posing any issues because it is on the access road, but again, something to be on the lookout for. Jump up a little bit further here, though, shows a stall of I-35 southbound at Rittiman Road. Jonathan Cotto gave us some information on how to keep your vehicles, make sure your vehicles are prepared before heading out on the roadways today, but hopefully you won't encounter any issues. But it does seem like stalls are starting to pop up around town. State Highway 151 westbound at Petranco Road. So watch out for that. Make sure you're checking your vehicles before you leave, and of course give those first responders plenty of room before you head out there. A wider look at the map does show we're still seeing lots of green here in San Antonio, but we're going to continue to keep our close eye up toward I-10 into the hill country. Right now we are in good shape. No big issues, especially if you have to travel into San Antonio. Still green across the board, so some good news there if you have to make a trip to San Antonio again later this morning from any of these communities. But right now roads are calm, but we know that can quickly change, so make sure you keep both eyes on the road and both hands on the wheel. Mark?
All right, thank you very much, Stephen. Well, as promised, we would get you updated on the school situation. Many schools in and around San Antonio canceling classes today as that wintry mix approaches. And CPS Energy said it is prepared for the freezing weather forecast to hit our city.
And Tiffany Huertas joins us live with more details on these two developing stories. Good morning, Tiffany.
Good morning, Mark and Stephanie. Schools taking this action for the safety of staff and students, and some also anticipate staffing shortages. We have put together a list of the schools and districts that have confirmed closures. Let's take a look at some of the largest school districts. San Antonio ISD, Northside ISD, and Northeast ISD canceled classes. Other school districts closing: Alamo Heights ISD, Edgewood ISD, Harlandale ISD, Somerset ISD, South San ISD, Southside ISD, and Southwest ISD. Schertz-Cibolo Universal City ISD has also canceled school. And CPS says freezing temperatures are not expected to last as long as they did during the February winter storm. So the energy supply is not expected to exceed demand and result in outages. CPS also says customers should be prepared to activate their personal emergency plans, especially if they rely on medical equipment, and consider relocating if needed. Now, for a complete list of all the local schools that are canceled and for severe weather tips, visit KSAT.com. Mark, Stephanie.
Thank you, Tiffany. San Antonio police say a toddler has been caught in the middle of what may have been a dispute involving adults. The 3-year-old child was hit by gunfire sprayed at a West Side home last night. A man inside that home was also shot. Katrina Weber is live at Public Safety Headquarters with that story. And Katrina, do police know the reason for the shooting?
Well, they haven't shared too many details about that with us, but they did tell us that this was a drive-by shooting and that home was purposely targeted. Now, that home is in the 200 block of Marema Street, not far from Castroville Road and South San Joaquin. Police received the call about the shooting around 9:30 last night. They say the man who's in his 20s and the 3-year-old child were both inside that home when someone fired shots into it. Police say the 2 victims were in critical condition as they left for a hospital by ambulance. Well, officers told us they believe that the man and child are somehow related, but right now they are still trying to learn more about who that shooter was and more about the car that was involved. Reporting live at Public Safety Headquarters, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. 540, about 37 degrees.
Let's take a look outside with live cam. A chilly 37 degrees. That wind makes it feel like it's almost 20 degrees. We'll be checking in with Mike for your full forecast later on.
Welcome back. Right now, 5:42 in your morning headlines. CNN reporting that 2 men have been arrested in the UK cities of Birmingham and Manchester as part of the ongoing investigation into the North Texas synagogue hostage standoff. The FBI identified Malik Akram, a 44-year-old British national, as the man who held 4 people hostage at a Colleyville synagogue in an hours-long standoff on Saturday. Officials say Akram had arrived in the U.S. via New York's John F. Kennedy International Airport in late December. He was known to UK security services and had been the subject of a brief investigation in 2020. But the investigation was closed when authorities determined Akram to no longer be a threat.
In Bastrop, authorities say a wildfire at the state park is no longer growing and no injuries have been reported. That's after the fire already burned more than 700 acres. A Texas A&M Forest Service spokesperson says no homes have been reported destroyed and some families have returned to their homes. Texas Parks and Wildlife says the cause of the fire has not been determined, but embers from a prescribed burn at Bastrop State Park is suspected. Texas Park says visitors with existing overnight reservations are allowed to enter the park, but no new day use or overnight reservations will be accepted.
Busy morning, 544, still 37 degrees, but it will be dropping later.
Yes, it will. Let's take a look at the roadways. Things starting to pile up a little bit there at I-35 at Walsham Road. We'll be talking with Stephen Cavazos about the problems on the roadways. The traffic's starting to pick up out there a little bit.
Yeah, we were surprised how heavy traffic was in some spots early this morning, Stephen. Maybe people trying to get out and about before things deteriorate later on.
That could be it. And if they have to head out right now, thankfully, they're not going to encounter big issues out on the roadway, but we do have flashing lights out there. We're taking a look at 35 at Walsham. You can see that in both lanes of traffic, we're starting to see people getting out and about. So maybe a lot more folks than I expected, given that some folks won't be taking the kiddos to school today, but they may be heading to work. So just make sure you're driving carefully. Now, what we're looking at is actually a stalled vehicle off in the shoulder lane. Looks like that could be a TxDOT Hero truck or perhaps a first responder working to help that driver out. Let's take you to the map, pinpoint exactly where it's at, because right now TxDOT has that listed in the southbound lanes of 35 near Ritterman Road. Again, this is not causing issues, but you did see traffic is starting to pick up, so you're going to want to make sure you are driving carefully and give first responders rooms. But stalls seem to be the issue right now. This rollover, I'm going to clear out from our map because it doesn't look like it's causing any issues. It's been on the Axis Road, according to the San Antonio Fire page. Looks like that is finally cleared out there off WW White. But a jump up over here does show a second stall of State Highway 151 westbound right at Petranco Road. That's not causing issues, but again, that seems to be the trending problem at this hour. As we push out of the map, we do see we're still in pretty good shape and off to a green start here in San Antonio. But of course, we're watching the roads and the weather. We're going to check in with with meteorologist Sarah Spivey, who's all bundled up. How's it going out there, Sarah?
I am all bundled up. I've got the scarf, I've got the hat, I've got 4 layers of pants. So yeah, don't worry about me. I'm prepared. Now earlier we were measuring the road temperature and it was at about 40 degrees. Okay. The bridges and overpasses are going to be colder than the roads, as Mike has been saying. So later on, when we get some of that light wintry precip after the mid-morning hours, we'll be mostly concerned about bridges and overpasses. But you may actually see the ice first on things like this metal sign or your mailbox. Let's take a look at the temperature here of this metal sign. 28.5 degrees, well below freezing. And that's why the ice tends to stick to elevated surfaces, especially metal surfaces. But again, we're not really concerned about a repeat of February 2021. We don't need to worry about that. We're just going to be watching out for those elevated surfaces to freeze first. And that is if and when we get some of that light precipitation. Now, I've been seeing that band off to the west and in the hill country starting to move a little bit closer to San Antonio. For now, let's go ahead and toss it back to meteorologist Mike Osterhage. He'll be able to show us the radar and what we can expect for the rest of the day.
Thank you very much, Sarah. Yeah, out there in Leon Springs, and where a lot of times, obviously, any precipitation usually starts coming in first of all. And right now, obviously, we're not seeing anything out there at the airport. So what Sarah was talking about as far as and what we are concerned with as of right now is the fact of what is going to be falling, in what form is going to be falling. This is what radar is picking up right now. The aerial coverage hasn't changed too much. There may be actually a little bit perhaps starting to show up over here by New Braunfels, that little bit of pink. We've got some into northern Medina County and then out there around Kerrville and heading up into Fredericksburg. But this is what we're talking about as far as what may happen down here at the surface. So obviously, the street signs, anything up a little bit above the ground is below freezing, as Sarah showed us. So the real question is what happens then upstairs in the atmosphere, a couple of 100 feet up, if you will. So starts as snow, frozen precipitation, falls through a warm layer of air. Now, if the cold layer, the freezing layer, is thick enough down here at the surface, goes up high enough, that's going to refreeze and fall in the form of sleet, little ice pellets. So that's not necessarily a bad situation. But if that layer of freezing air down here at the surface is not very thick, then this doesn't have time to refreeze before it hits the ground. So then it's going to hit those street signs, those overpasses, and then freeze on contact. So that's the biggest concern, and that's where you get the very slippery conditions on the overpasses and things like that. But again, right now, all of this is still being picked up in the form of some snow. Here's one computer model, and this is the one that's been a little bit more, say, bullish or generous as far as precipitation is concerned. So throughout the morning hours, and again, this is kind of a broad brush type situation. We'll have some more of this developing in the hill country. Notice how the dividing line is kind of going right through Bexar County, maybe a little bit on the north side of Bexar County that would change over into some freezing rain, sort of mixed here and there. And this is going to be the situation off and on. And it won't definitely be constant, but we'll still continue to see some even going into the latter afternoon hours. But also take note what's going to be happening down here. As it comes to an end up to the north, there's another big batch of moisture that's going to be moving into this very cold air down here to the south, and some of our southern counties and down there toward Corpus Christi could see a fair amount of some frozen precipitation, maybe some snow mixed in as well, and then that will all continue to work its way on out of here throughout the day tomorrow. So temperatures right now, we are at freezing, so it's dropped down a couple of degrees here in portions of the hill country, and cold air is going to continue to filter on in here. Bone dry air, windy conditions, and what we're going to have to watch out for, again, light sleet and or some freezing rain, just kind of off and on. Doesn't take a whole lot. I mean, as far as the freezing rain is concerned, just, that much glazing can cause problems. The windy, cold conditions, wind chills down in the 20s, and watch out for that on bridges and overpasses, primarily north of San Antonio and up into the hill country throughout the day, even though it's going to be kind of mixed here and there. 33 degrees today at noon, so temperatures will only continue to slowly decline throughout the day. and a little bit of wintry mix off and on, primarily up to the north. Winter weather advisory from all of the area up until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. And then, so I'm showing you where that big batch of moisture comes in with the with the cold temperatures down to the south. The winter storm warning is in effect till noon tomorrow for our extreme southern counties, and then heading down there toward the coast. Temperatures tomorrow morning going to be down in the upper 20s. So we'll stay at right around freezing all day long and then cool down overnight. 48 tomorrow. We see some sunshine in the afternoon, and then back down to 28 Saturday morning. Cold weekend, another chance of rain coming in here later Sunday, and into Monday. So it's one of those situations where we're always just kind of walking that line, one side or the other, right around freezing.
Yeah, we're still kind of in watch and wait mode.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we'll start to pick up a little bit more throughout the day.
Sure.
All right, but for sure, bundle up tomorrow morning.
All day long today.
Yeah.
All day long today. Thank you, Mike. Right now, 5:54, about 36 degrees.
Let's take a look at your winning lotto numbers. We have pick 3, 0, 2, 8, Fireball 2, and your daily 4, 8, 1, 6, 1, Fireball 7.
Cash 5 numbers 5, 9, 10, 19, 24. Lotto Texas 3, 27, 29, 37, 43, 46. And Powerball 11, 15, 43, 55, 61. Powerball 10, Power Play 3.
Coming up here on a Thursday edition of GMA, we are going into President Biden's wide-ranging speech and the news conference that covered his stalled agenda, the COVID response, and the crisis in Ukraine. Vice President Kamala Harris is going to be with us to discuss it all, live right here on GMA.
A reminder, the wintry weather is impacting some COVID-19 testing sites. Community Lab suspending its testing today at Wonderland of the Americas Mall, along with its other public collection sites. We have a full list of sites impacted online at KSAT.com. Head in the next hour of GMSA, more details on an overnight shooting at a Northside apartment complex that ended with a woman in the hospital. But the big news is the weather and how it could impact the roads. Right now, you're looking at a lot of traffic on I-35 and some flashing lights on that right shoulder right now. And radar right now is showing a wintry mix in parts of the Texas Hill Country. We'll be back.
Winter weather advisory is in effect. Winter storm warning well down to the south. We're going to take a look at radar because there is some wintry precipitation showing up.
And San Antonio is up and at 'em, and problems are already on the roadways. We're keeping track of it all, and we'll let you know how this impacts your morning drive coming up.
And taking a look outside with live cam, the cold front is here. It's cold, it's windy, and like Mike said, that wintry mix is present.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning. We know we have a whole bunch of folks tuning in this morning to see what the very latest is with everything. It is Thursday, January 20th.
Thanks for joining us. Hopefully a lot of you get to either sleep in or at least stay bundled up inside because of the school closures going around today.
Widespread closures around the San Antonio area. We're running those at the bottom of your screen, and we're going to check in with Tiffany Huertas with more on that coming up. But let's talk weather and traffic, beginning with Mike. And are we seeing any wintry weather in our viewing area right now?
Yes, we do have some being picked up on radar right now. The question is, and my speculation is that a lot of it may be evaporating right now before it reaches the ground. We've got some really, really dry air in place, so that's kind of helping us out, but then that's going to kind of turn against us a little bit coming up throughout the rest of the day. So nothing is showing up out there at the airport right now, and here's what it looks like on radar. Yes, this is some wintry, obviously, precipitation, and then you can see how it's sort of, there's the dividing line, if you will, almost right along 90, where it's mixing in a little bit with some liquid as well as something freezing. And then the aerial coverage has not really grown all that much, although it looks like we have a few little specks maybe there in northern Bexar County going up perhaps near the radar site as well. Temperatures, surface temperatures are now freezing in the hill country. We're at 36 right now, 34 in Bulverde. So where these numbers like 34, obviously in your backyard, it may be at freezing as of right now. The big story, though, the precipitation, yes, but the big story is the wind out of the north at about 15, 20 miles per hour. And then we have the wind gusts. It has been gusting to about 35, close to 40 miles per hour already this morning. That's the situation out there in Hondo, 31 at the airport. And what that does is put those wind chill temperatures mid and lower 20s around much of the area, even teens in portions of the hill country. And wind chills are just going to be staying in the 20s all day long. Very, very blustery all day long as well. It's going to be interesting to see what those winds do to the mountain cedar trees, because yesterday's reading was on the high side, 1630. Mold is low. Mold should be staying on the low side just because we have such dry air. So temperatures are only going to continue to slowly decline throughout the day, and those winds are going to be extremely strong. So we'll be, again, here in town, just kind of walking the line right along, freezing here and there throughout the afternoon. And even though there's not much out there right now as far as any precipitation, it will start to kind of spread around the area a bit more throughout the rest of the afternoon. So this morning, it's okay, a little bit up to the north, but then later on this afternoon, we'll be dealing with a little bit more of that precipitation. But like I said, the winds, boy, they are just cutting right through you. And right out in the middle of it is meteorologist Sarah Spivey. Oh, you look cold out there.
Oh, yeah. You know, the winds are cutting through my 5 layers of clothing right now, Mike. Yeah, I'm in Leon Springs right now. The reason we're in Leon Springs is because this is one of the areas in Bexar County where we see the changeover to icy precipitation often. Now, there is nothing falling right now in Leon Springs, but those winds are very strong. I've got a portable weather station here, and I'm measuring the wind chill. And the lowest it's been so far is about 21 degrees. So, yeah, even though temperatures are not quite at freezing yet here in Leon Springs, it feels well below freezing. And throughout the day today, again, our big time frame to watch for icy precipitation is from mid-morning until the early evening hours. So we're not expecting anything early this morning for an early morning commute. But one of the places we'll be watching very carefully are not necessarily the side roads, which are a little bit warmer, but it's the bridges and overpasses, like the I-10 bridge here right over Bernie Stage Road. Now that, of course, is surrounded by this cold, blustery air that I just showed you on my portable weather station. And so those things freeze first. Even with a light glazing of ice on those bridges and overpasses, they can become dangerous. But, you know, right now, I think things are fine. Road conditions are okay. We've been driving around. Things are all right. But let's get the official word with Stephen Cavazos over in traffic. Stephen, what can you show us?
Thank you, Sarah. And keep in mind, TxDOT crews were out there spraying brine on the roadways yesterday to prevent some of that freezing out on areas like the highways and bridges. But we really want to bring your attention right here to I-10 East at Loop 1604. A very shaky shot from TransGuide cameras. We are seeing some flashing lights out there and a buildup of traffic. A crash has been reported, but just check out how shaky that camera is. It's very difficult to get a steady shot, and that could probably be because of some of those winds out there. But we are going to watch this closely. This crash is likely causing a buildup that we're seeing right here on our map. Nothing too drastic in those westbound lanes of I-10, but crash has been reported, that crash that is, of I-10 at Loop 1604 East, according to TxDOT. Something that, of course, we have to watch closely, especially now that we are in the 6 a.m. hour and more people could be getting out on the roadways, perhaps heading to work a little bit later today. Watch out, because we do also have stalls to talk about. I-35 southbound at Eisenhower Road. Now, a stall has been reported there, and it's been there for quite a while, so you have to make sure that you're giving these drivers plenty of room to get the help that they need from first responders, so that way they can get to where they need to be on time, but more importantly, safety. And that trend obviously continuing way over here off State Highway 151 westbound at Petrenko Road. Now, these stalls have been there for quite a while, but we could probably see more that are popping up as the morning does go on. So make sure that you are checking your vehicles before you get out on the roadways, your tires as well. Let's push out and show you our map, because as we are starting to see some of that precipitation that Mike and Sarah have been talking about detected out there over off in the hill country, we're watching those roads over there closely as well. But right now, nothing too bad that's going to cause any issues for that drive time, especially if you have to travel into San Antonio. Things are in good shape, green across the board from all these neighboring communities. But right now, this crash, you got to watch out for this. We'll continue to give you all the updates throughout the morning. Mark, Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephen. With freezing weather conditions expected throughout San Antonio, many area schools have canceled classes for today. And since yesterday, many families across our area have been busy getting ready for these cold temperatures.
Tiffany Huertas joins us live with more on these stories in the warmth of our newsroom. Good morning, Tiffany.
Good morning. Schools are taking these actions for the safety of staff and students. We have put together a list of the schools and districts that have confirmed closures. Let's take a look at some of the largest school districts. San Antonio ISD closed all schools and offices. Northside ISD also canceled classes and all extracurricular activities. The district says classes and scheduled activities will resume on Friday. Northeast ISD says there is no school today. All after-school meetings, events, and extracurricular activities also canceled. Other school districts closed include Alamo Heights ISD, Edgewood ISD, Harlandale ISD, Somerset ISD, South San ISD, Southside ISD, and Southwest ISD. Schertz-Cibolo Universal City ISD has also canceled school. And many local grocery stores experiencing more foot traffic. Families stocking up on essentials like bread, milk, eggs, and soups. Many of those shopping yesterday were hoping to avoid the roads the next few days. And we're going to keep a close eye on all these closures you need to know about. For a complete list of the schools canceled, head over to KSAT.com. Mark, Stephanie.
It's also running at the bottom of the screen. Thank you, Tiffany. Bexar County officials plan to open these 6 warming centers at 7 o'clock this morning, a little less than an hour from now. You could go to the Bexar County Fire Marshal's office and the Leon Valley Convention Center to stay warm. We have a full list on our website. City of San Antonio also has several warming centers. They're on your screen. These 4 community centers open today at noon. If you need transportation to get any of them, call 311. Don't forget, pets also need to be protected over the next couple of days. You need to bring them into the, you could bring them to the warming sites. You could bring them to the warming sites in the city. If you have pets at home, be sure to bring them inside.
And new this morning, 2 people are in the hospital with life-threatening injuries after a drive-by shooting, and one of the victims, a 3-year-old child. It happened around 9:30 last night on the west side on Moirema Street, not far from Castroville Road and Highway 90. Police say the 3-year-old and a 22-year-old man were inside that house when someone in a vehicle drove by and opened fire. Both were taken to the hospital in critical condition. So far, police have not made any arrests.
Also new this morning, a separate shooting on the city's north side sent one woman to the hospital. It happened around 11:30 last night at the Summit Apartments on Larkspur near Phil Hardberger Park. Police say the woman in her 20s was shot by a man after the two were arguing. The man is still on the run. The woman was taken to a hospital and we understand is doing okay.
Time now 6:09 and about 36 degrees out there.
Still ahead on GMSA, Snapchat's got a new feature that's designed to protect teens. We'll have details.
And a quick look at the radar there. You can see that wintry mix moving into our area, primarily there to the northwest.
And outside with live cam, the big factor right now is the wind chill. It is bitterly cold out there with that north wind. Right now, bundle up. We've got lots of traffic out there. Looks like folks may be out and about trying to get things done before the weather perhaps deteriorates later today. Welcome back to GMSA, just about 6:14.
And a big slowdown there at I-35 at Walsham Road. Let's go ahead and check in with Stephen Cavasso.
Well, we've been seeing situations like this popping up. Some stalls and some crashes. 35 at Walsham is a view from TransGuide. You can see, as Steph just mentioned, we are starting to see a lot more folks out there than what we had seen previously in the last hour. But we know we're getting closer to that morning rush, so we, of course, can expect more folks out there. But as we see from this TransGuide shot, people are taking it slow out on the roads. Just make sure that you move over and slow down when you see situations like this. But as I mentioned, stalls, also crashes are the thing that we're keeping a close eye on. This is a view from TransGuide at I-10 East, right at Loop 1604, heading out towards Seguin. Now, we are not seeing so much of a buildup there, but some flashing lights, as you can see from that view at TransGuide. Also, a shaky camera. Let's take you right to the map, because that has been detected right there off I-10 eastbound at Loop 1604, again, heading east. We're going to continue to watch that crash closely, but based on what we were just seeing, it doesn't look like it's causing so much of a fuss out on the roadways, but something we'll watch closely. And again, that stall, as you just saw from Walsham, is there off I-35 southbound in those southbound lanes near Eisenhower. So again, make sure that you are driving carefully through these areas. We're not seeing a whole lot of issues out on the roadway. There's not been any closures reported just yet, but as we can see from our map, we're going to continue to watch those areas, specifically out toward the hill country, where we can expect some of that change. But as of right now, things are looking good road-wise. So just make sure that you take it easy out there. Thankfully, we don't have any big issues to report just yet. That's the key word, yet.
That is good news.
That is good news. And Mike, my understanding is the conventional thinking as of right now is that if this icing occurs, it's going to be a little bit later on this morning here in town.
Even late this morning for, the rest of the morning commute, if you are heading on out, obviously not many folks or anybody going to school, but it's very limited right now as far as any precipitation up in portions of the hill country. And actually at the surface reporting spots, haven't had anything being reported as far as any precipitation of any kind. So a lot of it is probably evaporating before it reaches the ground. Big story, though, as you saw on some of those TransGuide cameras, boy, they are just getting a workout, just shaking to beat the band out there because of those windy conditions. So here's what's showing up on radar right now. And as expected, as we were talking about how it's very, very limited moisture so far this morning. And with the dry air in place, a lot of this, again, is more than likely evaporating. The aerial coverage has not really increased all that much. That one batch up there heading in toward Gillespie County, and then these few little spots. And also, there's been sort of the dividing line right there along 90 over there in Uvalde County, where it's been a little bit of liquid, maybe a little bit frozen in there. And then also, earlier, it looked like now this is some clutter perhaps around the radar site right there in New Braunfels. Is not really moving, but it almost looked like there might have been a little spot here and there in and around Bexar County. Nothing is showing up as of right now, though, but we'll just be on the lookout. And more will start to kind of spread around the area as the afternoon rolls on into the late morning and then later on this afternoon. Wind chill temperatures, again, this really, in my opinion, is the biggest thing to take away from this is the fact that wind chills are just cutting right through you, and they're going to stay this way throughout the rest of the afternoon. And the dew point temperatures, the amount of moisture in the atmosphere, this is working in our favor as of right now, because with the very dry air here at the surface, anything that's falling is more than likely evaporating as of right now. But that also then helps to lower temperatures because evaporational cooling. So then we're going to start to see, and as more moisture kind of works its way in here, albeit very limited moisture, we're going to start to see that spread a little bit more. And also, with these dew points remaining, teens and single digits, very rare around here. So you can definitely kind of feel how dry the air is when you step outside, if indeed you do step outside. This computer model is a bit more generous as far as precipitation, but what we can take away from this is later on as the morning rolls on, we're only at 20 after 6 right now. This is by 8:30. Still, it's going to be primarily what is up there, and this tends to kind of broad brush things a little bit, but it's going to be further up there to the north, and this would be in the form of probably sleet, maybe even a little bit of snow, because temperatures will be consistently below freezing. And then you get that sort of dividing line just about along 90 and 10, if you will, and more liquidy precipitation. And at times this will start to come to an end. Then it's going to start to kind of spread a little bit more. And what we're going to also have to watch out for is well down to the south, because there's going to be a lot of moisture down there. That's going to be in the overnight hours and early tomorrow morning. So as far as this is just kind of the gee whiz, we're the leading edge of this cold air mass, 27 below up there in International Falls. And well, at one point the wind chill was down to about 35 degrees below zero. Nothing like that around here, but it's cold enough. So forecast today, temperatures are just going to continue that slow decline all day long. A little bit of wintry mix, and then kind of right around freezing. We're going to be sort of walking that tightrope along freezing here in town. Below freezing temperatures throughout the rest of the day up there in portions of throughout most of the hill country, I should say, pretty much north of 90. The winter weather advisory is in effect up until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. A little bit of wintry mix, a little bit of sleet, a little bit of freezing rain, maybe some snow up to the north. And then the winter storm warning for our southern counties, that's to take into account, obviously, the colder temperatures and all that moisture that's going to be moving in here, especially late today, overnight, and throughout the day tomorrow. And again, that's well down to the south, just kind of on the southern fringes of our viewing area. And tomorrow morning, then, we are going to be down to about 27 degrees here in town. Getting up to 48. We will have sunshine in the afternoon, so it's going to be kind of nice. 28 starting off on Saturday, and up to the 50s. Cold weekend, but again, today, this morning, as far as precipitation, that's not going to be a huge issue. We'll start to see a little bit more, though, as the day rolls on.
All right, so we're on the lookout for an icy glaze today, and then south of San Antonio, maybe some decent snow tomorrow.
That's going to be a possibility, and any sort of a glaze would be on overpasses, elevated surfaces, primarily kind of northern Bexar County, again, up there, and then you just kind of got to watch it too.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah, so, that little bit doesn't take anything if it freezes up on something. So.
Yes, sir.
But obviously still cold all day today and tomorrow.
Well, the wind is really shaking the cameras right now. We're going to show more coming up. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. And topping your morning consumer news, Snapchat has launched a new safeguard limiting the number of friend suggestions offered to teenagers using the platform. Now teenagers will only receive a suggestion if they have a certain number of friends in common with that person.
Apple says it's closing a loophole that has allowed almost anyone to use its education discount. From now on, buyers in stores and online will have to verify their students, teachers, or school staffers in order to get 10% off their Apple purchases.
And time now, 6:21 and 35 degrees out there.
Still ahead on GMSA. Hold on to your hat. Spurs got a win last night here at home. We've got highlights from their game with the Thunder.
What can I do with less asthma? With Dupixent, I can do more beginner's yoga. Namaste. Namaste. Surprise parties. Aw, you guys. Dupixent helps prevent asthma attacks. For free! So I can do more of the things I love. Dupixent is not for sudden breathing problems. It's an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma that can improve lung function for better breathing in as little as 2 weeks and can reduce or even eliminate oral steroids. And here's something important. Dupixent can cause serious allergic reactions, including anaphylaxis. Get help right away if you have rash, shortness of breath, chest pain, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection, and don't change or stop your asthma treatments, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Are you ready to do more with less asthma? Just ask your asthma specialist about Dupixent.
Our San Antonio Spurs got a much-needed win at home last night against the Oklahoma City Thunder. DeJounte Murray had 23 points, 14 assists, and 10 rebounds. As a team, they made 15 three-pointers. That helped them roll past the Thunder 118-96. Up next, Spurs host the Nets tomorrow night. Tip-off at 7:30.
It's good to have a win.
Yes, it is.
Time now, 6:24 and about 35 degrees out there.
Still ahead in the next half hour, a drive-by in a West Side neighborhood sends 2 people to the hospital, including a toddler. Katrina Weber will join us live with the latest.
And the FBI investigating local Congressman Henry Cuellar. We're going to tell you everything we know so far.
And TransGuide, there's the camera shaking. I was telling you about this exact camera I was referring to on TransGuide at 10 and 16:04. Wind chills are unbelievable already this morning. We'll talk to Stephen and Mike again coming up.
It is cold when you step outside. Wind chills are in the 20s, even teens in the hill country. If that's not bad news, the worst news is this is not going to get any better throughout the rest of today.
Yikes, a cold start to the morning, but will we see a calm commute? We're going to have the latest on the roads coming up.
2 people, including a toddler, are in the hospital this morning, victims of a drive-by shooting. I'm Katrina Weber. I'll have that story.
And outside with live cam right now, we are all watching and waiting for any potential icing out there. Mike Osterhage is tracking that on radar because we have had some activity over the last couple of hours. Will it make it here? We'll talk to him coming up. Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday. Actually, rather Thursday, January 20th.
Thanks for joining us. Very cold out there this morning. A lot of schools taking precautions. So we'll talk about those closures a little later on. My daughter was actually upset that she wasn't going to school today. I was like, what?
Really?
Yeah.
Did you record it?
I should have. I may never hear this again.
Well, we're seeing very heavy traffic out there, even though a whole ton of schools are out today as a precaution. Mike's here with more on that wintry mix that has been showing up on radar.
Yeah, we've had a little bit on radar. And even though it's not a big deal as far as the precipitation right now, wind chills, for kids that might have to stand at the bus stop or something like that, pick up. Yeah, because it's really, really darn cold out there. And it's, like I said, it's not going to get any better as far as that is concerned throughout the day. Good news is we don't have anything showing up right now in that vantage point there as far as any precipitation. And it almost looks like some of this is starting to kind of wane just a little bit up there to the north, but we do have a little bit of scattered mixed precipitation. Notice how there's been kind of that dividing line right there along 90 where it's been a little bit liquid, maybe a little bit in the form of perhaps some sleet and or even some snow. And a little bit closer into town, it almost looks like there may be You blink, you miss it. A couple little pink spots here and there. So perhaps there is a little bit that is showing up on radar, but most of it is more than likely not reaching the ground as of yet because the air is so dry. So here's what we can plan for. Off and on light rain and or some wintry mix. Wintry mix, or even just changing over to a little bit of snow up to the north and sort of on that dividing line here in town, and a little more liquidy further on down to the south. This is not going to be right now. It's going to be after the morning commute later on. And then accumulations, maybe a little bit of some light glazing or even a dusting up to the north. And of course, the main concern is going to be the bridges and overpasses and the windy conditions. That's really the big story. Once again, we've got these temperatures that are freezing in parts of the hill country right now. Close to it here in town, we're at 36 degrees, and those winds 15, 20, 25 miles per hour, gusting 30, 36 there in Hondo, and that is definitely going to be the situation all day long. Once again, those wind chills are down into the teens. And as far as the allergens, it's going to be interesting to see what happens to that number later on this morning with Mountain Cedar when the updated count comes out. Winter weather advisory is in effect up until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. The purple area, the pink down to the south, that's a winter storm warning because there's going to be more moisture and colder temperatures coming in the overnight hours. So that's in effect up until noon tomorrow. Here's the story. Light mix primarily north this morning. Windy and just colder throughout the rest of today. A bit more mixed, or it's going to kind of spread out just a little bit more, and freezing temperatures will be kind of right along freezing. Also windy conditions all day long, and tomorrow some of that wintry mix well down to the south starting off. Then we'll see some sunshine in the afternoon. Very cold start. We finally make up into the 40s tomorrow. It's a cold weekend. A couple of more showers around here on Sunday. All right, it is walking a very fine line as far as temperatures. Temperatures, vary by maybe a couple of feet from the ground up to the top of a sign. With more on that is meteorologist Sarah Spivey. So you got a nice little lesson for us this morning, right, Sarah?
I do, Mike. Again, we are not expecting anything like what we had back in February of last year, where the city was completely shut down. We had inches and inches of snow. The only thing we are expecting today is potentially a little bit of light wintry mix into the afternoon and early evening hours. That would become an issue pretty much primarily only on bridges and overpasses and elevated surfaces like your deck or things like that. And I want to show you a reason why. I've got a thermometer here that's going to measure the parking lot temperature. It's near 40 degrees, 39, 40 degrees. That's well above freezing. Ice is not going to stick on the ground roads, but come with me, Stephen, our wonderful photographer. I want to show you an elevated surface here in the form of this metal sign and just how cold it is. It is down to about 33 degrees right now. Earlier, we were measuring it into the 20s and even into the teens. And so any kind of light ice is going to stick on those elevated surfaces first, like the bridges and overpasses. I'm in Leon Springs right now. That's the I-10 bridge with Bernie Stage underneath it. I've been here before during one of our light icing events in years past, and we've seen, unfortunately, cars get in wrecks on that bridge right there. So that's the biggest concern, a light glazing on those bridges and overpasses. Again, we're not seeing any precipitation yet right now here in Leon Springs. It's dry, but we could continue to see that into the afternoon and evening hours. For more on the roads load, let's go ahead and turn it over to Stephen Cavazos. He's got an update on traffic right now. Stephen.
Thanks so much, Sarah. Hope you're staying warm out there. Well, just as a reminder, TxDOT crews were out there on some of those bridges and overpasses spraying brine, which is a saltwater solution that helps prevent some of that freezing. And that's, again, usually sprayed on the overpasses and bridges. But again, make sure you are driving carefully out there. Let's get a look right now at 35 at Walsham. Now, this had been a problem spot for throughout the morning. We had seen a stalled vehicle that wasn't causing any issues, but we are starting to see traffic that is picking up. The people that we're seeing, though, thankfully are driving very slow out there this early in the morning, and that's actually some good news because we want to see people taking it easy. No need to rush to get to work. We want to make sure you get there on time and safely. But as of right now, it does look like that stall has cleared out and the roads are open, but just drive carefully. That was detected in those southbound lanes of 35 at Walsham. We did also have a crash not too far here off of I-10 eastbound at Loop 1604 East. That has also cleared out. But as you recall, if you were with us a little bit earlier, that camera was pretty shaky out there. So make sure you watch out, especially for those high profile vehicles. But let's push out of the map because we are still seeing we're off to a pretty green start. The morning is pretty tranquil, but things can quickly change when more people get out on the roadways and as the weather does tend to get a little bit different. So this is something that we're going to continue to watch, specifically up toward the hill country. But right now, things are in good shape. But as I mentioned earlier, that is subject to change as the morning does go on. Right now, if your travels are taking you through San Antonio, we're not going to encounter any delays. We are green across the board here. So that's some good news again if you are traveling in the next few moments. But just make sure to take it easy out on the roadways. We have a shot here of I-10 West at Loop 1604. We'll continue to monitor and give you all the updates as you need to know them. Guys.
Thank you, Stephen. Many schools around San Antonio are canceling classes. One exception is Bandera Isd. As of right now, that district is still holding classes today. And here in San Antonio, the city and Bexar County are opening warming centers as the winter weather sets in.
Tiffany Huertas joins us live from our newsroom with details on all the closures. Good morning again, Tiffany.
Good morning, Mark and Stephanie. Schools taking this action for the safety of staff and students, and some also anticipate staffing shortages. We have put together a list of the schools and districts that have confirmed closures. Let's take a look at some of the largest school districts in our area. San Antonio ISD, Northside ISD, and Northeast ISD canceled classes. Other school districts closing: Alamo Heights ISD, Edgewood ISD, Harlandale ISD, Somerset ISD, South San ISD, Southside ISD, and Southwest ISD. Cibolo Universal City ISD has also canceled school. And city and county leaders are opening up warming centers for those who shelter. The city is opening 4 public centers. They're on your screen right now. They'll open at noon today. Pets are welcome at these centers as well. And if you need transportation to get to any of them, call 311. Bexar County opening 6 warming centers. The hours of the operation for that would be at 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sites will remain open during these hours until the inclement weather has passed. Now, for more details on these warming centers and a complete list of school closures, visit KSAT.com. Mark, Stephanie, back to you.
Thank you, Tiffany. Since yesterday, many families across our area have been gearing up for these colder temperatures. Local grocery stores were busy as customers stocked up on essentials like bread, milk, eggs, and soup. Some people told our crews they are hoping to avoid the roads for the next few days, and some even said they were considering calling out sick from work.
Because I know for a fact it's going to get real bad tomorrow. So that's why I'm doing it right now before it catches me tomorrow. And tomorrow, I don't know who's going to be out there, but it's not going to be me, that's for sure.
Normally, they'll buy maybe half a basket or buy just what they need. Right now, they're buying like they're buying for the whole week.
And just a reminder, there are a lot of resources available for those who need shelter or other assistance. We have all those listed on our website at KSAT.com.
COVID-19 testing is being impacted by the winter weather. Community labs will suspend testing for its public testing sites today. That includes the sites within the Alamo Colleges District, several community centers, and at Wonderland of the Americas Mall.
The Alamo Dome plans to continue with its federal COVID testing site today. It will be open from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. The city plans to reevaluate and determine what will happen tomorrow.
Here's other news this morning. San Antonio police try to track down the person who fired into a West Side home, wounding 2 people, including a toddler.
This happened last night on a street called Moirma, not far from Castroville Road and South San Joaquin. Katrina Weber is live at safety headquarters where the investigation continues.
Yes, good morning. The last word we had about those 2 victims is that they were both in critical condition. They'll have confirmed this morning that they are still in the hospital. When police saw them last night around 9:30, they were both inside that home in the 200 block of Moirma. They say someone purposely targeted that home, shooting into it and hitting a 3-year-old child and a man in his 20s. Both of them rushed to a hospital by ambulance, and again, they were in critical condition at last check. The shooter took off. At this point, it doesn't seem that police have any information about the shooter nor about the car that was used to help him get away. Reporting live at Public Safety Headquarters, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Also new this morning, an investigation is underway after a man was shot walking down a street. It happened around 145 on Fall Pass near 151. That's on the far west side of town. Police tell us 3 men confronted him and they got into a fight, and that's when one of them shot him and got away in a vehicle. Officers were able to arrest 1 suspect in the vehicle and another tried to run away on Petranco Road. The 3rd suspect got away. Police are now trying to figure out which one was the shooter. The victim was taken to the hospital.
Time check just about 6:41, now down to 35 degrees.
Let's take a look at the radar real quick. You can see a lot of that wintry mix moving into our area.
And still ahead on GMSA, 2 men have been arrested in connection to the hostage situation at a North Texas synagogue. We have the very latest out of the UK.
Good morning, everyone. It's almost 6:45, and a lot of those issues we've been watching on the roadways have cleared out and traffic is starting to get moving. So let's take a quick look around town and see how things are shaping up at this hour. There's 37 at Houston. Not a lot of people there at 37 at I-10. It does look like it's picking up. Keep in mind, there's plenty of school closures, so maybe a lot of folks are staying home today, not taking the kids to school. But right now, if you do have to travel, we're not seeing any delays just yet. There's I-10 at Comfort, and we're also keeping a very close eye on the roads up toward the Hill Country where the cameras can reach them, but thankfully we've not seen any issues that would cause any hazardous conditions for your trip to work or wherever you need to head to this morning. 410 at Broadway, 281 at Hildebrand. The morning is getting moving, but let's take a look at the map and show you where we spotted a few of those issues. That stall off I-35 southbound thankfully has cleared out, not causing problems anymore. And we also have a new crash that popped up near I-35 southbound at Space Center Drive. That has quickly cleared out, so our first responders thankfully are able to get these scenes situated, and that crash off I-10 eastbound at Loop 1604 East cleared out as well. So right now, pushing out of our map, we are still seeing a very green start to the morning, but we're starting to see some of that color spots up toward the Hill Country. But I'm sure Mike Osterhage can tell us a little bit more of what that means in just a moment. But again, travel still looking good right now for those inbound times. Just make sure to take it easy out on the roadways. We know things can quickly change as the morning goes on.
Thank you, Steve. And Mike, we've noticed a couple of trends in the last couple of hours. Temperatures have continued to slowly drop.
Yep.
And it looks like the odds of seeing some wintry precip have slowly gone up over the last 2 hours.
As far as later on this afternoon, not necessarily this morning. We've got a little bit in parts of the Hill Country, and that's still the forecast that we've gone with since even yesterday, where it was going to be not much of anything really this morning. We don't have anything out here right now showing up by the airport, and really hardly is anything showing up on radar. But as the day rolls on, we will start to see just a little bit more of that coming on in here. It was interesting. I was just watching. There was an airplane taking off there, obviously off to the northwest into the wind. Yeah, strong winds get you off the ground soon, but I bet that's kind of an e-ticket ride taking off in these blustery winds. Here's what it looks like on radar right now. And yeah, there's not a heck of a lot, obviously, showing up on radar. Just a couple little spots here and there. Maybe this could be some clutter around the radar site there, maybe just 1 or 2. But out there in northern Medina County, that's kind of about it, and that almost looks like it's kind of fizzling out ever so slightly. And the reason for that is, and obviously there's more up to the north, but we do have, keep emphasizing, really, really dry air between down here at the surface and up into the atmosphere. So a lot of this right now is more than likely evaporating before it ever reaches the ground. And because that air is so dry, but then that cools things down also because evaporation obviously is a cooling process. Now, I've been shown a couple of computer models this morning. This is the rapid update model, and this updates itself every couple of hours. This one is not as bullish as far as precipitation. So throughout the rest of the morning, maybe a little bit of some light rain. The dividing line pretty much is going to be almost along 90 and 10. We will have that wintry mix up there to the north and kind of going back and forth here in town. This one wants to keep it all in the form of rain, although temperatures are going to be right around freezing. So it's going to be a really close call. But this is not a very aggressive computer model as far as the moisture is concerned, and therefore any sort of precipitation. It does show that well down to the south, though, and that's going to be overnight into tomorrow. Then we are going to be clearing out somewhat later in the day tomorrow. Wind chill temperatures, 26 in town, 19 Kerrville, 17 Los Maples. That's really the big story today if you are heading out. Bundle up, and temperatures will just continue to go down throughout the day. Again, that dividing line right there along 90. So we'll be kind of straddling freezing, if you will. Definitely freezing in parts of the hill country. So actually any precipitation up there may just fall in the form of just some light snow, kind of a dusting of it. That's going to be the situation then going into tonight. Temperatures will continue to cool down or hover right around freezing here in town. And then finally by tomorrow afternoon, we are going to get above freezing. But the wind chills will definitely stay on the cold side for the next couple of days. And again, we are at the leading edge of a brutally cold air mass. 29 below, wind chill, Bismarck, North Dakota as of right now. Forecast today, it's not going to be improving. Temperatures will stay steady or drop down. 33 at noon, right around, like I said, kind of straddling freezing here in town. Cooler up to the north, just a low upper 20s, I should say, up in portions of the hill country. Winter weather advisory in effect till 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. So all afternoon, we'll start to see a bit more of that wintry mix or some precipitation throughout the afternoon hours. And the winter storm warning down to the south for that. Now, a bit more moisture is going to be moving on in there down to the south. So they could have more in the form of some sleet as well as some light snow down to the south in the overnight hours. Tomorrow, we're going to be right around 27 starting off, and that mix down to the south, then up to 48 degrees with some sunshine. Another very cold morning Saturday. Stays cold all weekend long. Then a couple of showers perhaps Sunday, and a better chance for a few showers around here on Monday. And actually, none of those temperatures on that graphic are anywhere near their respective normals all the way through the middle part of next week. Steph, Mark.
Mike, thank you very much. Back to some news headlines. We understand 2 men have been arrested in the UK cities of Birmingham and Manchester as part of the ongoing investigation into the North Texas synagogue hostage standoff. All this according to CNN, but no other information available on the arrest. We do know the FBI identified Malik Akram, a 44-year-old British national, as the man who held 4 people hostage at the Colleyville synagogue in an hours-long standoff last weekend. Officials say he arrived in the U.S. via JFK International in late December. He was known to UK security services and had been the subject of a brief investigation in 2020. But we understand the investigation was closed when authorities determined Akram was no longer a threat.
The FBI is now investigating local Congressman Henry Cuellar. FBI agents could be seen coming in and out of his home yesterday in Laredo. Public records listed Congressman Cuellar and his wife as the owners. The FBI did not say what they were looking for. They also didn't say what the investigation was all about. Cuellar's office released a statement saying he will fully cooperate in any investigation. This comes ahead of the March primaries.
Time check 6:51, about 35 degrees.
Remembering the Holocaust. I'm Sarah Costa. Coming up tomorrow on GMSA, how you can take part in a month-long education series highlighting the victims and survivors of the Holocaust.
And taking a look outside with live cam, starting at a cold 35 degrees, and it's going to feel cold all day long. We'll be checking in with Mike to see what the rest of your day and your weekend holds.
Coming up here on a Thursday edition of GMA, we are going into President Biden's wide-ranging speech and the news conference that covered his stalled agenda, the COVID response, and the crisis in Ukraine. Vice President Kamala Harris is going to be with us to discuss it all, live right here on GMA.
Let's go ahead and check back with Stephen Cavazos. Those road conditions are kind of changing here and there.
They're changing here and there. Right now, we're taking a look at I-10 at Kerrville East. Really quiet there, very tranquil as you can take a look. Also still dark. We're not seeing anything that's going to cause any issues, but we're going to continue to keep our close eyes here, specifically in the hill country and the roads there. Right now, traffic moving, and here in town, almost nothing going on. But as traffic changes due to the, sometimes traffic can change when the weather changes. Let's check in with Mike Osterhage for the latest.
All right, and looking off to the east, we're obviously got a few thin areas in the clouds, and even off to the west there's a little bit of some blue sky, but don't let that fool you. We do still have precipitation, frozen showing up there in parts of the hill country. We got some really dry air for right now. Cold temperatures well below freezing in parts of the hill country, 36. Temperatures will just continue to drop down. Wind chills, the big story this morning. These winds are gusting close to 35, 40 miles per hour, and that's going to be the case all day long. Wind chills 20s and teens, and even though there's hardly any anything out there right now, limited. We'll see more of that mix kind of spreading across the area today. Temperatures will just kind of straddle freezing here in town. Colder up to the north. Winter weather advisory in effect through 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, that purple area, and then the winter storm warning down to the south. And very cold tomorrow morning, very cold again Saturday. We're keeping you updated all day.
Thank you, Mike. Stay bundled up, and we'll see you back here at 9.
Be safe.